his rod alone blossom. The style is typical of Murillo, a balanced composition of beautiful figures, soft forms, and rich colors. Jesus looks much younger than 12 years of age, making him seem even more precocious and vulnerable. God the Father is surrounded by cherubs and the radiance of heaven itself, while the figures of Mary and Jesus are idealized and noble. This was Murillo's vision of spirituality as something embodied by physical grace and beauty. Perhaps we can be sympathetic to Murillo's sincere devotion after we look at his self-portrait from about 1670 to 1673. The seriousness of this image leaves no doubt about Murillo's dedication to his role as an artist. A frame painting of a man sits on a table on which there are several implements of a painter's profession: a ruler, divider, a chalk drawing, a palette with colors, and paintbrushes. The painting stands on a curling tablet with an inscription in Latin, which could be translated as Bartolomé Murillo portrays himself to fulfill the prayers of his children. Murillo and his late wife had had 11 children. At the time this portrait was painted, only 4 were still alive. If we looked only at the figure of the man, we would see someone of great dignity and decent social status who looked slightly away from us, lost in thought. We would not assume he was a painter at all. Yet Murillo incorporated a bit of illusionism popular in Dutch and Flemish oval-shaped portraits of the same century. A hand that seems to come out of the painted image goes over the edge of the frame, thus breaking the barrier between the viewer's space and that of the painting itself. And remember, we saw that in both Carracci and Caravaggio. Suddenly, we read the image as not a painting within a painting, but as a live man standing behind the space of the frame. So vivid and convincing is the illusion as painted. The use of the hand to break the picture plane, when combined with the instruments of the painter, thus serves as a symbol of the painter's power to create a new reality with his mind and his hand working in concert. The most debilitating war that Spain waged in the 16th and 17th centuries was a civil war, the 80 Years' War of the Netherlandish provinces against the rule of Spain. Well, as we've seen, the southernmost provinces were kept as part of the Spanish kingdom. The northern provinces had managed to break away by the end of the 16th century. The war continued, however, until a peace treaty was signed at Münster in 1648. It would be appropriate now, therefore, to turn to painting in the new country, the United Provinces. Because the Dutch Republic was politically so unlike the other countries of Europe at this time, which had real consequences for the art world, I need to go into some detail about its origins. The 7 united provinces of the Netherlands became a republic almost accidentally. They broke away from Spain during the 80 Years' War, the one that began in 1568, and after the assassination in 1584 of their leader, William the Silent, Prince of Orange, they were left without a noble leader for the country. Eventually, they settled on a government through their Central Council of Provinces that was called the States General, while military leadership went to the descendants of William the Silent. Holland, by the way, is just one of the provinces, but even in the 17th century, it was the most powerful. That is why people have often come to calling the entire country by the name of that one province. Even before the final peace treaty was signed at Münster in 1648, the Dutch Republic had become an economic powerhouse in Europe, with Amsterdam serving as the financial center for the continent and Dutch trade dominating the North Atlantic. It was officially a Calvinist state, but Lutherans, Jews, and other Protestants apple of discord was introduced by Eris, who was angered by her exclusion from the celebration. So we see that happening off in the background on the right side of the painting. The style recalls earlier works we've seen by Mannerist painters in the elongated and very elegant nudes, the complex pose of Eris in the foreground, and the playing with spatial perceptions where various planes seem to flatten on the surface. The colors are bright and applied smoothly. Audubon would have been exposed to Mannerism firsthand, both in France, he went to Fontainebleau, and in Italy. At this relatively late date, however, Audubon was